Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to our Friday afternoon triple header here at the CCA League. I am Mizuno, and I am joined by a very special guest tonight. If you could introduce yourself.
Woo! I'm Kraken Mare. I was a part of the PSU team in the last semester that won the championship here, so now I'm here to troll the other folk.
You're just here for a good time, not for the long time.
Exactly. And so we have a good one, Mizuno. We have ISU versus PSU, a rematch of last season's semifinals, which ended in favor of PSU 5-3, a really close set.
Right, exactly. So we have a little bit of history here that's about to boil over, right? As we can bring up our keys to victory here to kind of show off and give folks the lay of the land here. We have Red Emberz out of Illinois State versus PSU Blue out of Penn State University. And I think first and foremost, I think we need to talk about the squares.
Yeah, a little bit of internal trolling from Red Emberz. It became a thing inside PSU Blue for the blue square. And so Red Emberz is trolling with a little bit of the red square as well. I find it a good little back and forth, good fun humor between the two teams. Starting off with that one first point in their keys to victory.
No kidding. And I think I'm looking a little bit curiously here at Red Emberz too, listening to the ISU anthem, quote, BBL Drizzy, end quote, to get through the fight. I think they're gonna have to link us what in the ever-loving God that is post game, because I'm curious what anthem that may be.
I love that both keys of victory for both teams are really just about having fun, both in terms of literally having fun, saying that straight up for PSU's third point, but also both teams are, with the points in general, seem to be having a good fun with it, and that's really what I loved about the collegiate scene, just how much fun we have in it. And here we go, first game already, Mizuno, Clam Blitz on Inkblot Academy. Both teams not bringing out anything too surprising, other than maybe the Carbon for Jay. I usually see him on the Ink Brush when I wasn't on it, so it's good to see it.
Good to see it too, and we're going to be seeing Red Emberz here in the yellow, PSU Blue in the blue, fittingly enough. And another thing to call out here is the 96 Gal Explo combo. I know you can probably allude to, Kraken, how that combo usually works, but I really find that dynamic incredibly interesting in trying to enable these frontliners with the brush and the tri-slosher to just get in there and go bananas.
It's a really decent combo together. The 96 a little bit stronger but weak in terms of paint. The Explo can hit 90s and such, but they put down a ton of paint when they're not hitting shots. And they can combo and really do pretty much a one-shot kill between the two if there's any little bit of damage on them. And it's a really good combo. They cover each other's weaknesses really well, along with adding a lot of range, which outside of the sniper, ISU completely is outranged by those two alone.
No kidding, but Love Trial getting a really nice pick there, demonstrating a little bit of that range with that scoped charger, and a couple members down on PSU Blue, kind of sending a little bit of delayed respawns there. So you kind of see Love Trial also on this left side of the map, trying to get some picks and trying to be a little saucy with that range, but they're probably going to wisely back up here to get and regroup with their fellow teammates.
We see Snow trying to find an opening on this right side, not able to do so. I mean, they're completely on the heels right now, but I think that's just a lack of paint with that Carbon being part of PSU's team. They have to get kills. They are outpainted completely in this match. Even when it comes into the shots, the Expo brings a little bit of that paint back, but the Carbon in the 96, as we highlighted when we were talking about the Carbon, the 96 earlier, it can lack in terms of paint. And right now they keep getting the kills on the side of ISU keeps getting the kills on Penn State, which means not only do they have the paint advantage to begin with, they're getting the kill advantage, and Penn State is just locked into their plat.
You are totally right here, Kraken, and enabling that paint is super crucial for folks here like Corona Beer to come in and put a little bit of pressure on that left side and that left stack, and that has opened a really nice door here for Red Emberz to kind of continue this mid-range control. You see Vapor here on this top left roof area, feeling a little bit of that heat there from Zolo on this splatter shot, and here, folks, here comes Red Emberz breaking that basket open and getting the first points on the board.
But it looks like it's going to be a quick 3 down for the side of Red Emberz, so they're going to go ahead and get 26 points, so one power clam and 2 little clams. Not a great push by any means, But how much of a stall fest is this through the first half of the game? That could be enough. Nikki gonna pop the Kraken, gonna look for some kills, and they're gonna get one. Can they get another one, Mizuno? And it looks like that's gonna be a yes.
Yes, a nice follow-up there. Nikki with on the gal with the Kraken special. Funnily enough, Kraken, get it, haha, funny moment. But that Kraken was actually really big, right? Because even though it was on that plat, that opened the door for PSU members to take control of these stack areas. So you see Nikki on the left side of the map. You see, I believe it was Jay on the right side of the map, respectively, popping off that Zuka. This is a really good moment here as Jay's going to walk right in with that carbon and miss the throw. Oh, no, Kraken.
What are you doing, Jay? You know what? If he was on Ink Brush, he would have made that. So we're going to blame him being on Carbon. That's what we're going to do here. We're going to blame the Carbon roller. CD Woomy knows how I feel about Carbon rollers. We've faced off many times over the years here in CCA, who we saw an amazing match the other night. But focusing on the match here at hand here, we see Vapor trying to get some paint onto the plat, but going to have to fall back with some pressure on the right side of Red Emberz. But they will get some kills and make another couple power clams. They have an opportunity here with a minute remaining. If they can get another pick to really open that basket up and actually get the lead this time.
Indeed, Nikki here doing just exactly that, getting one pick, getting two picks, and that is a huge door open here for PSU Blues. They're able to pop the basket once again and get a few more points on the board. So that is a really good look. And Snow still has another ball at hand sitting on Plat, who is passing along over to his teammate Vapor. Oh, but Vapor does go down here. So they're playing a little bit of a hot potato here with the Clam Blitz ball as we see, goodness, I believe that was Zolo and Corona Beer working on this Plat to get this basket open. I mean, Kraken Bear, this is just insane.
We got a really good push there. Good trade. That is a wipeout of Red Emberz, though. They ended up getting 4 for 1. But the big thing for Red Emberz, they have the lead, and PSU Blue didn't push up as fast as they could have there. With that wipeout, they should have tried to get towards Plat a little bit more. And because of that, they're sitting back. With them sitting back, with just the 15-ish seconds of overtime remaining, Vapor down. That is their best painter. They're going to have to go for kills right now if they want to have opportunity. About 10 seconds remaining here, Mizuno. We see Jay in, but it's going to go down.
Jay going down like that was not good. And here comes Nikki just tossing the ball forward in hopes of a teammate to come in, but there is no one else there. And Red Emberz is going to kick off this match with a 1-0 victory over PSU Blue.
You know what? At least it wasn't an 8-minute Clam Blitz match, Mizuno.
Thank the Lord. I don't think any of us want to deal with that, with peace and love. Because listen, I love Splatoon as much as you do, as much as everyone else. But I don't want to sustain everyone to be watching a 8-minute long Clam Blitz match where it just doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah, that was a good one, though. Really back and forth. It took for the first 2.5 minutes for both teams to really just feel each other out, what each other could do and whatnot. And then once that first push came in for Red Emberz, we had PSU respond right away, and then we had Red Emberz back right responding, taking the lead. And it looks like, though, PSU is going to sub. They're going to sub out Nikki for Nova for the second game, Mizuno.
Interesting how that will come into play. Kraken Bear, we have a couple of stats coming in here with Love Trial demonstrating the power of the charge, getting 16 splats, KA, and 4 deaths, with popping off 4 vacuums. Meanwhile, on the side of PSU Blue, whoa, not Vu, Vapor leads the way with KAs with 13 splats and 6 deaths. So, really strong leaders with Love Trial and Vapor coming out here and demonstrating the power of backline, right?
I think that's
definitely a surprising twist.
Yeah, that's a really surprising twist. But I think with how stally the early game was, that shows how dominant both of them were in the early part of the game, especially. We saw both of them go down multiple times. We saw Nikki with a couple Krakens getting up there and getting the sniper, and we saw Vapor go down multiple times too. So really, a lot of that came in just the first half too. So in the first half, both of them just destroying. But I'll tell you what, we were a little bit. Nothing else really surprising. We see Corona doing some good work. We see Xylo and going in and getting some good plays as well. We saw Nikki and Snow doing some good work too. So, but I'll tell you what, that's crazy to see the two backlines really leading the KAs in that first game.
Yeah, I would like to see from both of these teams if they have such strong backliners, right? With ISU having Love Trial and PSU Blue with Vapor, if their frontliners and their fellow support players find ways to enable the backliners instead of the opposite, I think this would be a really interesting turnout for both of these teams as we head into our game number 2. Splat Zones, Barnacle and Dime, B&D. We saw an interesting game previously in our previous match earlier, Kraken Mare, where this was just a clean 100-0 match, and I'm wondering if we're going to see the same story happen here.
This map is so choke point heavy that I very much understand that there's a good shot of that. I've seen that a lot. I mean, even in some of the higher level games, we've seen this map be a lot more choke pointy than even some other zones maps that are notorious for going really quick or being really easy to lock out. And just like that, though, PSU takes 20 points off the board, but they go 3 down, Mizuno! 3 down, make that a complete wipe! And that lockout point is met, and you can already see the sniper up on the PSU's top right, just taking up position, and without dropping 2 specials here, they're probably not clearing him out of this position. And this is going to be a lot of points on the boards.
I was going to say PSU Blue had a really strong open there, and they felt and looked really comfortable, but Red Emberz came in and just said nope. And did you see how quickly they moved into PSU Blue's spawn area? That was a great setup there that they had to start to kind of create that sustainable offensive front. Really good stuff from Red Emberz.
Really good. I'm surprised the sniper dropped out of that position. They never even got pushed. They dropped out voluntarily, and they went back. It is smart to fall back here and try to stay alive, but it's in the end, they could have kept that really high position, Mizuno, and shot PSU in the back. Get some nice splats, but they're eventually going to go down, Mizuno. Finally, after a minute and a half, and Penn State has control.
Man, but they have a lot of work to put in with Vapor sitting here on the zone. You see Snow trying to put on this pressure here. I don't see any backup here for Snow. I only just see Snow on this right side. Here comes Nova, actually, helping Snow out on this left side, which is going to be huge. They do let Cliff slip away, but they are able to call them out. And this is just a little bit of a back and forth here. We see all specials coming in from Red Emberz in hopes of getting back to the zone as quickly as they can.
That vac just saved Xylo's life, and Xylo's gonna repay that by helping to paint the zone. Red Emberz takes it back 6 ticks away from losing the lead. Jay trying to get something with the lottery shots over the wall. Not going to get anything this time, but does keep Red Emberz away from the stack, which is the key position to hold if you're going to try to not get into that choke point. So good on PSU to hold the position, even with the numbers disadvantage and losing the zone, instead of like the first time we saw them getting almost locked out there into the knockout.
Right, exactly. The zone is going to flip back into PSU Blue's favor here. And this is just a little bit of, like, we're playing like an antsy game right now, I feel, right? Like, both of these teams feel really staggered, and they're not coming together as a very cohesive unit right now. As I'm just seeing deaths upon deaths, specials being popped off. We're seeing so much happening on the map right now, and yet somehow PSU Blue is still able to retain this zone and a little bit of that pressure that they need to claw back into this match.
Everybody going down. Penn State feels like back and forth, each side losing 1, losing 2, losing another one. And it just continued to happen. Finally, though, Red Emberz is going to get 3 down on Penn State. They're going to put Vapor in a bad position, and they're going to get the zone to not lose the lead, and put another 40-point penalty on PSU Blue. But they didn't quite get up into the high ground this time around. But it doesn't matter if the sniper hits the shots like that, Mizuno.
It doesn't matter at all. Like, exactly like you said, Kraken. Love Trial getting a very clean shot. And that shot, I think, is very determinant here for PSU Blue trying to get back into this game. Oh, but still coming in huge here, getting 2 picks with that Zuka, looks like. So stalling a little bit longer for their teammates to move in. It's just the Charger alive now for Red Emberz. They're able to get a vacuum off, it looks like, and it's just the Vapor on the Explo. But no! Love Trial gets the shot as Vapor was trying to jump away. And now Love Trial is sitting back on this stack area, trying to come back and get their team members back into this game.
Look at all you see those people getting back in so fast. They had to be jumping into each other. And that's a key. Get back in there as fast as you can. And with just a little bit left on the clock here, Mizuno, can PSU take it? We see at least one go down on each side. And the fight for the zone. Vapor goes down, their best painter. I think this is going to be it, Mizuno.
Oh, it's going to be. We see Corona Beer finishing out here the game as we see those nice orange firecrackers go off. Red Emberz is going to take the second Barnacle and Dime. Not without a fight, though. 2-0 in this match.
Well, I'll tell you what. If Red Emberz can take at least one more, they will do as good against Penn State as they did last season, at minimum at that point. And they have really decisively come in here. Both times, I think they've clearly had an upper hand, but I'll tell you what, it's not a blowout by any means. Penn State is keeping up there. Just some small plays are the difference right now between PSU winning these matches and Red Emberz winning these matches. And right now, Red Emberz is playing a little bit of a cleaner game. You know, they're staying alive better. They're jumping into each other. Mm-hmm. They're retreating when they need to a little bit faster. You know, they're keeping that life because that is very key, right?
I think the stats are going to explain exactly what you called out there, Kraken. The stats coming in here from game number 2. Love Trial, again, on the top of the board here, going 11 KA and only 2 deaths in that match. And that match was lengthy. We did not go to overtime, but it was pretty close there. And Zolo also, same exact stats, going 11 KA and 2 deaths. Having Zolo staying alive that long as a frontline and as a T-Tech, as a splatter shot is a game changer for the Red Emberz.
Oh, that is a huge thing. You rarely see that kind of stat line from a frontline unless it's like a quick KO. So to be a game, maybe probably about 4+ minute game at that point.
Right.
Easily. You know, to only die twice as a frontline while still getting 11K. So that means that they weren't just like sitting back, relaxing, you know, enjoying the mall, the sunshine coming through the glass windows there, you know, waiting for the fountains, enjoying. No, they were in the fight still. They were just winning almost every single fight. And I think one of the few times they went down was like when Penn State threw a ton of specials at them and they just couldn't get away from it. That was maybe the only time I think that I really saw Xylo go down. And man, I'm surprised to see that stat line, Mizuno.
I am too, but I think that really demonstrates again some of the teamwork and coordination, right? It's not just Zolo or Corona Beer or Cliff just feeding endlessly, right? I think they're being smart about how they play together. And like you said, they're able to make that really good decision making with going in versus dialing it back. So really good start for Red Emberz here as we're heading into game number 3 on TC Hagglefish Market. This is going to be a saucy one, Kraken.
Hey, look, the Rapid Blaster Deco is from Nikki. I got a little insight that was coming out before it did. not today, but I knew that they were working on it. So didn't. Deco Pro here, and we'll see if it can take care of Tower, because the biggest thing is that's going to be great on defense. Offensively, depending on the lips, it could be really, really nice, though.
Right, exactly. I think a Blaster nowadays on TC is monumental to putting on that area of effect, AoE pressure on that tower on like a single point of focus. So if the PSU is able to help Nikki and support them in that way, I think that's just going to be a huge game changer for them, as we unfortunately do see a Vapor go down on the tower here, as PSU Blue is looking to kind of kick off a slight push here and hoping to take advantage of those numbers that they have.
I'll tell you what, Penn State right now seems rattled. They aren't playing with confidence. Like they're just letting Love Trial just sit there. Right? They were vulnerable. So if Snow goes and gets that, they have a shot to push longer. Instead, they just get to sit there and wait patiently, take that shot, and just take Vapor out, which stopped the initial push from Penn State. Mind you, they didn't even get the first checkpoint, but still, the big thing is they're not playing with confidence to push up together. Where is Snow and Jay, especially, those two? They need to get in front of tower. Like, Vapor is the most forward person right now.
I can totally understand that. As a front line, sometimes if I don't think they know what to do, right? That plays them to the confidence piece, right? But Vapor, though, I think this is the moment, though. Looks like Vapor on the towers, hanging there alive as we see both Snow and Nova moving into that encampment area, putting on some pressure. We do see Cliff, though, coming in clutch and able to get a couple of really nice picks on the tower here. So a really good start, at least for PSU Blue, but I think they just need a little bit more if they're going to need to push this tower past that second checkpoint.
We see the angle shooters trying to get some marks on Red Emberz, which would be really, really helpful for everyone to kind of take care of the folks. But two go down, the two backlines go down, Mizuno. We see Jay behind with no special, though, but they're going to see if they can get a flank on this tower. But everybody on Red Emberz is there. The whole team just turned and said, no, Jay, no. Maybe next time.
Very good play from Red Emberz, though, to recognize that there was a flank going, and they have really good situational awareness to recognize that, hey, there's still one member that we cannot account for. Where are they? And they're right behind them. So really good play there. All of a sudden, Kraken, Red Emberz has taken the lead, and they're now pushing this tower. Looks like they're going to get through this last checkpoint here as this tower is moving like butter and shimmying its way to this final stop.
They won't get the knockout this time, though. It is just the sniper. Gets a nice shot on Snow. Almost gets Vapor on the retreat. They're finally going to jump out. But now Penn State pretty much has to knock out. They have 2 checkpoints to clear. They have 2 minutes. Lots of 2s on the board. But can they break Red Emberz from going to 3 wins? Or are they going to keep them at 2 wins?
This is a good start, though, Kraken. I just saw Love Trial go down just a couple of seconds ago, and I think one other member, I think it was not Corona Beer, maybe it was Cliff. So this is a really good moment here. If they're able to keep Love Trial away and put some pressure, PSU Blue might be able to get through the second check.
You saw right there, they didn't, though. And bam, 2 shots from the sniper, and that right there will kill the push. No shot at it. Love Trial in the really strong position. Nothing really able to get close to them. They had that one in the push along with the jump out, but they just can't quite get there. They're playing really defensively on the side of ISU. 2 go down. That makes them really gonna have to play defensively. Snow needs to get up on this next level with Jay. They're trying to get up there, but those bomb pressure from the different members, including Love Trial, who finally goes down to Azuka, I believe it was. Finally going down for Penn in favor of Penn State. But
I'm really liking this position here, though, Kraken, with Nikki and Snow. They're pushing up right now together, and that little extra chip is going to be huge for Snow. So this might be it. This is time. 2 down for Red Emberz, Kraken. This may be it.
the vacuum comes in and protects Xylo to push the members of PSU. They just jump in their face there with the vacuum. You can't die if the opponent's shots are being sucked up. But they're going to get another shot at this, Mizuno. Can they get it?
I can't tell. The screen is frozen. There we go.
They're still fighting for overtime. It's a 4v3 right now. They're all rushing. The splashdown's going to take Xylo out. Down to 5, 7. They're going to take it, Mizuno.
What just happened?
We don't know over here, but I bet you and the audience are going insane, because I just saw the little few frames that came in for us. We saw one moment, everyone's dead. Oh, everyone's alive. It felt like the tower's going one way. No, it's going the other. That was amazing back and forth at the end. Both teams fighting for it. Multiple specials coming out from the vacuum, the Zukas, the splashdowns, just taking out members on each side, everyone just jumping in. Kind of like a Splatoon 1 moment, Mizuno, where everyone just jumps in for tower.
No, it was very reminiscent of Splatoon 1 gameplay on TC. So, I mean, PSU Blue, they were able to really clutch out there. And I think they did what they needed to do by trying to stiff arm Love Trial throughout that last 45 seconds or so, right? And that was, I think, a very big determinant to them getting that tower pushed at just the nick of time there.
I think so too. We saw Love Trial. We just got the stats in, so let's go ahead and look at the stats and see. Love Trial died 4 times. I think 3 of them came in the last minute.
Yes.
Bluntly.
No, I think you're totally right.
And I think that's the huge difference. For the first 4 minutes, they had what was it? We had 10. They basically went 10-1. It looks like, give or take a little bit. And in that back half, they had a couple, maybe a pick or two, but they died probably more than they got kills. And that completely flipped it. I think that's the first game that we've seen ISU stat-wise actually have more deaths than PSU, I think, looking through all of the 3 games we've had thus far.
Right. I think one thing I want to call out here is Nikki with the Rapid going 17 KA and 5 deaths. I'm sure a lot of those are assists baked into that stat, but I think it all the more demonstrates that Nikki's Rapid was a great support utilization for both Jay and Snow to get a little bit extra chip. And man, we don't even have enough time to analyze and talk the stats because we're already marching into game number 4, Rainmaker Manta Maria.
Snow finally checked up for us. Woo! Let's go, Snow. Anybody that was CCAF here last year, I think Snow went to 90 seconds almost every single game. So it's good to see him finally check up. Speaking of Snow, they're going to go ahead and push up into bunker, clearing out that key position right off the bat. The Rainmaker is going backwards, Mizuno.
Yeah, it's going in a slightly awkward direction. Are they looking to take this right side? This is definitely a controversial avenue that Red Emberz is selecting here, but I mean, with 2 down, they have a lot of room to work with, as actually, I think that's the 3 down situation with some staggered respawns there, Kraken. This is looking pretty good.
Good first checkpoint. That's what you want to just start with the checkpoint. Nice and easy, first minute, first checkpoint, and they're already going to be under 25, make that under to exactly 20, Mizuno. And right now, they don't have quite the popping power because Vapor has Splashdown. They will win that pop every single time. The Sniper being the only one remaining, gonna go backwards. But it looks like they had some jump-ins. Potentially, that could turn into some kills here. If Cliff can get something, that would be amazing. But no. But hey, that killed a good 10-15 seconds on the Rainmaker. But with the checkpoint, it might be easy to reset that timer, depending how good they stole here in mid.
Right, exactly. I think the stall tactic there was still pretty effective, though, because it allowed the members of Red Emberz to kind of paint for some special. You see Love Trial popping that vac on that left side of the map here, maybe trying to stall things out and get some room. Oh, but I do see a member of Red Emberz go down here as Vapor is still holding onto this Rainmaker and is looking to get through this first podium.
20 seconds remaining, probably a little antsy, thinking they had the opening. Vapor gonna go down. Still 3 minutes remaining, a lot of time on the board. I mean, we saw in the first minute that Red Emberz put up their best score. It's Rainmaker. At any given time, any team can really push. You know, in this game with the checkpoint system, it slows it down a little bit than we had in 2 and 1. But it can go really quickly still, especially once the checkpoint is finally broken. I think Jay's going to go ahead and break it. And yes, they do. Penn State breaks the checkpoint. That means that pretty much any time, this game could go right back to Penn State. But for now, Red Emberz enjoying the nice 80-point lead with 2.5 remaining.
Right, Red Emberz does have to be careful here, right? Because it is Rainmaker. At any given point in time, they have to be fully aware and fully be able to account for every member of PSU Blue. Because if you look at the comp they're running, they can certainly afford to be kind of sneaky and try to make a haha funny play with the Rainmaker if they have the opportunity to do so. So I think both teams need to be very wary and very careful of each and every single opponent that is on this map.
Yeah, especially Vapor Splashdown. That's probably the best special of all of them that are on this for quick pops. So that Splashdown can easily, bam, hit that. If you time that up right, it can insta-pop it. If done right, or at least be very close. I think it is an insta-pop. But so with that, ISU, if they're kind of back a little bit down a number, that Rainmaker could instantly pop on you. You have to be really smart with it. 2 members of Penn State go down, though, Mizuno, as we're talking about Rainmaker pushes. The Red Emberz is the one pushing it right now, so who knows if that's going to change here, though, and really soon.
Right, exactly. With only one special to work with, though, we have Love Trial on this mast, holding onto that vacuum and looking for a pick somewhere. I don't think they're going to be able to move this Rainmaker too far. If Snow has something to say about it, popping off those Zukas in hopes of getting a pick. But Love Trial with the vac, getting a really nice pick on Snow. That's a really nice counterplay there, Kraken.
I really like what ISU did with the Rainmaker. They didn't force it forward, but they kept it in a pretty decent position for themselves. And they almost used the entire minute The entire minute they had, which that ate up almost half the time remaining for Penn State to try to get a push off. And that is a key to success. If you control the Rainmaker, you literally control the chance for the other team to win. And that is a fantastic strat from ISU in these last couple of minutes. Multiple members on each team go down. We see them rushing for this. A vacuum coming out there, Mizuno. Love Trial's going to continue to hold down the fort.
Hold down the fort on this bunker. Not if Snow also has something the same about it times 2. Looking to get a pick against Love Trial, but to no avail. We're in the last 15 seconds here, and I'm seeing 2 specials online for PSU Blue, as this is their last, potentially their last chance at getting this Rainmaker to the other side of the map. So Nova popping off these trips is going to be crucial here, as Vapor is the one with the Rainmaker now. Oh, this is not good though. I believe it's either Jay or Nikki with that ink. Oh no, never mind. That's 3 down for PSU Blue.
They're getting rushed. Here comes Corona with the brush coming in. Here comes the vacuum. Here comes the Tri-Slosher. And everybody goes down for Penn State. Well, 3 of them are jumped in, all grouped together now. But they all went down there. Vapor finally joining them right at the end. Right as the other ones get there. And with that, 3-1 in favor of Red Emberz. Our number 1 overall seed is showing why they're number 1 overall.
Numero uno indeed, Kraken. But I mean, these past few games have definitely demonstrated why they were placed the number 1 seed and why they've continued to demonstrate how they're the number 1 seed, right? They're able to play together so well and so seamlessly. They know exactly their decision-making mindset, right? Like we talked about earlier, they know when to push in versus when to back off. They know how to play the time to their favor, like you pointed out earlier, Kraken. And I think that just demonstrates a really high level sense of gameplay. But we cannot discount PSU Blue, however. These have been some really close matches still. And I think we just need a couple of key moments, like from Jay and Snow, to work together a little bit more. Synergy from Nikki and Jay. We've seen those glimmering moments throughout this match, and we just need to see them click a little bit more, I think. And we'll see some really good success here out of PSU Blue.
I wanna point something out here, because I have told Penn State they need to play Jay more on Vink. In a loss there, they had a 2-to-1 KD ratio in that game. That's their best ratio they have had in any single game thus far. Mm-hmm. Where's Jay's Vink, Penn State? Bring that out more. He had a little less interactions than he had in some of the other matches. But I think that would be really key to bring it in. They have played with an ink brush, cough cough me, since the beginning of of Penn State. Mm-hmm. Snow is the only member remaining from that original group that is there right now. But nonetheless, Vapor is also my teammate outside of this, so they are used to having ink brush. Obviously, it's a slightly different style than I do. But nonetheless, that brush is a very nice asset they have, along with the sharkiness, the paint it can put down. Something like the 96, it was going to benefit more from. It's going to cover its weaknesses, instead of something like where they had the carbon in the first game, where it added to that weakness and didn't really bring in those kills that it's intended. That's kind of the way carbon has to do. It has to bring a lot more kills, while brush is a little bit more well-rounded in a lot of ways. So. Maybe we're going to see more ink brush, because that was a quick checkup from Jay, Mizuno.
I agree with that analysis, Kraken. I think it fits a little bit more to the general play style. Not quite the same copy-paste, of course, right? We want to make that clear and discount that. But as we head into this Clan Blitz match, I think seeing the vanilla ink brush here would be valuable as we take a look at these new comps here for game number 5 on Robo Ramen.
And nope, Jay's going to go 52.
Interesting. Is that 2 gals? Am I seeing
that? That is 2 gals. We have 2 double 52 shot and the Explo on the side of PSU. We have the brush still from Corona. Shout out to their brush. And then we have a shot Tri-Slosher with the cooler. And then, of course, we have our sniper rifle, who has been shredding everybody. And here through the first 30 minutes, though, a pretty neutral back and forth until Xylo Zuka gets 2. And here comes Red Emberz Mizuno looking for an opening. Good pick by Jay, and that will actually probably stop this push.
That was a really nice play from Jay, just kind of lurking behind the scenes there, right? You kind of saw Red Emberz get a little bit, almost a little antsy and a little bit excited to just be like, oh, we have a nice opening, let's go for it. But they did not account for Jay lurking on that little grates wall area. So I think both of these teams need to be careful with having a 360 kind of mindset and like making sure to check every single part of the map. We do see that wall come out on the side of PSU Blue, though, to hopefully push back the members of Red Emberz. But to no avail, nothing really came out of that, surprisingly.
I know this has been a little while now, but that jump out by the sniper, that was insane. That was insane. I can't let that get away without at least mentioning it. That was amazing. They should have died.
Call that out, bestie. Like, if you see something that I don't, call it out. And let's call out this. I mean, all of a sudden, Red Emberz is down 51 points. They just knocked in 49 points onto the board. Where did that even come from?
It looked like we were watching the flank there where Corona came in, but the rest of the three just came right up the middle. It looked like 2 a bit on the flank. And so the rest just said, well, we have a numbers advantage. Let's just push right up. Ooh, nice, Zuka. But going back to that, they scored, and then they jumped in with the other ball. They got the points. So good job on them part. But man, that Zuka was fantastic. Can they continue the pressure? Multiple down. Looks like, oh, but the bombs.
The bombs, Kraken, man. I think PSU Blue, I think they were just a little, I don't want to say hesitant, but they were a little bit slower on the uptake to take advantage of that 3-down situation, and that allowed a stray bomb from Red Emberz to come in and play spoiler maker to a potential push. So now we're back into this neutral situation, Kraken, and things are kind of awkward right now for PSU Blue. They just can't find a good footing just yet. They get these really nice picks, but they're not able to convert something out of it quite yet.
Well, that double kind of came when nobody was really in mid well. So I understand why Penn State, they did move up pretty quick in that time compared to earlier where they kind of struggled to push on that one. That one, they were just so far back, recovering from Red Ember's amazing push and pressure that they just couldn't capitalize on it in time. We see, though, the Zuka coming out again, but the vacuum just says, nah, you're not scoring. No, maybe next time. And look at that 2 go down to the vacuum. I called it. I told you, Mizuno.
You're so right. It's just really good counterplay. Whoever's going to pop that one first is going to come out of it. Nikki's able to pop the basket open somehow, some way with the stray Clam Blitz ball. I don't even know how they saw that and picked that up in time. But that's all that they're going to get on the board here, Kraken, as they are just able to knock in those 20 points.
Effectively, too, it's effectively 10 points, right, with the penalty included. But 10 points is 10 points less you have to score if you are trying to take the lead later in this game. So, you know what? Take the 10 points, happily move on, because that was looking like it was going to be a dud. Literally, Nikki saved the ball, one of the last frames available. On our screen, our spectator screen, it poofed away. That's how close it was. We just saw brush shenanigans attempted and just got denied really hard.
Just going in completely blind, just like guns blazing, pew pew pew, and rightfully so denied. But nonetheless, here we're in a really awkward state of the game now, Kraken, with only 30 seconds left in the game, and we're just seeing just the numbers completely fall. And PSU Blue is going to need a ball and a few more clams if they want to overtake this game.
Yeah, you're gonna need even 2 balls is not enough to take the lead, mind you, because that would bring you. Oh no, that would just get the lead. Excuse me, because that would bring it down to 50 exactly remaining. So 2 balls exactly will do it. But right now, Red Emberz has the numbers advantage, pushing up towards the opponent. Zyler gonna go down though. Penn State still trying to look for something, and with that other one, they have an opportunity here with this 20-second overtime, Mizuno, to try to get something. Look, lots of clams on the board, but they have to get the sniper, and the sniper gets another one, Mizuno!
Snow coming in clutch, though, with a kill on Cliff there, and is holding onto the ball and doing what they can to pop over this basket. Can he get it? It is spinning, and they do break it just at the nick of time, but there's the wipe! Red Emberz is able to clutch it out and deny them the chance to score any more points, Kraken.
Snow hesitated to throw, and it cost him. Oh my gosh, they were in range with a ball and they didn't get it off. Oh
Man,
my god, that's the difference. That's the difference in that case. It wasn't Snow that scored, I believe. We're getting the replay now. And I don't think it was Snow that scored. I think it was somebody else from Penn State because they were in Zuka. So they didn't get
right.
the ball off. And so being in Zuka, they could not get the ball off. And so they lost on Zuka. We can blame Zuka for a loss. Weird to
We got
celebrate, but
we got word from our producer that it was Vapor who ended up scoring on the ball there onto the basket. So with the stats rolling in now, Zolo being a very key playmaker here in that match, getting a 15 KA and 9 deaths. And coming up the rear is Love Trial yet again. I think they've been on the top, almost the top 2 scores in the past few games, and they're coming in with 14 KA and 4 deaths. Woof.
Well, you know, people complain about Zuka. Well, we just saw that. See, it's perfectly balanced with no issues in Mizuno. No issues whatsoever. This is a perfect game. See, it has a punishment if you pop it when you're trying to score. You clam push, you can't do anything.
Oh my god. That is so foul. But
I don't think I've ever seen that. That is just hilarious. I have to have a laugh about it because that's the first time I've ever seen that, Mizuno.
Man, and all your time here in Splatoon and the CCA, first time for everything.
With that though, Red Emberz, not to take away from them, because they played a fantastic game. They had multiple nice pushes in there, and with that, they're able to go up 4-1. And as you mentioned, shoutouts to Xylo and Love Trial doing fantastic work. We saw what the sniper can do. And the sniper just sat there taking multiple shots. Every single time that Penn State tried to push, they took out 1 or 2. Even if they died, they took out at least as many as that went down for them. Like, that is fantastic on their part.
Right, exactly. And man, Kraken, we're in this best of 9 set. We're at game point here for Red Emberz. They are sitting now, waiting to punch their ticket in to the finals match in this playoff. So PSU Blue has a lot of pressure on them heading into game number 6 here on Zone's Mahi Mahi Resort.
Yeah, not a map you see very often, but we have a loss of paint on the side of Red Emberz and Penn State. Both of them just said, "We're going to zones. Who needs paint?" Right? That's not how the mode works. Let's go to a 96 that has less paint. You know, let's go to Octobrush that paints less. You know, obviously they have different values in terms of what they're going in mind. But I find it funny that we start to lose some paint here as we go into zones. But hey, good play here by Red Emberz. Going to go ahead and push up to the lockout position. It looks like Penn State is probably going to pay the penalty for the better map.
Right, exactly. And the members of PSU Blue are really in an awkward spot right now because I believe I saw Vapor earlier or Nikki, one of them jumped out, which was a really good play, but they're all kind of stuck in this position and waiting for specials to come in so that they can make a move back onto the zone. It does pay off though. Their patience is fruitful as Jay is popping off this Trizuka and letting his teammates get back in, and they're able to cap the zone here. So really good patience here from the side of PSU Blue, and that is exactly what they needed if they still want to remain in this game.
Ooh, but the collat comes in by the sniper! They get collat! I think it was a collat. They at least 2 died in the same spot. It may not have necessarily been a collat, but that's amazing. Nikki gonna punch right back though, get to themselves. Cliff gonna go after the 96, saying, "No, I don't want to be a triple run." Nope, you're a triple. Nikki got the kill.
Nikki coming in clutch with a huge play with those remake explore splats. That's a quad. I'm calling that as a quad. Very good play from Nikki there, able to get those picks and allowing their teammates to get back in. Snow does go down here, however, and that's the moment that Corona Beer is seizing and making their move back onto the zone. Here comes the Rain Cloud too, and Corona and the Trizuka. I mean, Red Emberz is throwing everything onto PSU Blue right now.
Nikki, who just graduated, congrats to him, by the way, saying, "Hey, this is my final season. I don't want to go out like this. This is my first chance on Penn State Blue. I want to win this thing. You know, last season you guys got to win without me. You know, I was on the other Penn State team, doing some good work. Now it's my turn to make a show, and I'm gonna go run in with Kraken again, and he go get 2 more on the other side of the map. Nikki is mad, Mizuno. They want this so bad.
They want this, and they're continuing to make those plays, which is what they need right now. We haven't seen a lot of really big, loud plays yet from PSU Blue up until now with Nikki. This is the momentum that PSU Blue needs. The clock is slowly winding down in PSU Blue's favor as they're looking to take back the zone and take back the lead here. Love Trial in an awkward spot, actually back here towards the spawn area, and it's just Love Trial right now, and PSU Blue takes back the lead.
They get him with no vacuum with that much time left. Nikki falls in the water. Nikki, what are you doing? Comes down to can Corona paint, and that will be it. This is gonna go to another game, Mizuno. we got to see Nikki do amazing things. We also watched Nikki fall in the water at the end.
But that was what PSU Blue needed. We didn't have like a playmaker up until this point, like how Red Emberz, they've had Zolo making huge plays. They've had Cliff. They've had Corona Beer. They've had so many plays. But now PSU Blue has finally, knocked down this door, kicked it down, and burst it open, and has made a huge statement. They are not going down without a fight here.
Oh, that was such an up and down game. That made me laugh quite a bit. Stats are rolling in. We see Nikki dropping the highest KA on the side of PSU, 11-6 there. Vapor though, a nice 10-3 behind him with that X-Blow. But still though, that Sniper went 11-3 as well. Only member positive though on the side of ISU. I think that is the key there, Mizuno.
You're absolutely right. That stat tells a really good story there. The members of Red Emberz were just not able to stay alive and sustain whatever ground that they were able to hold whenever they had the zone, right? So, that allowed players like Nikki to make those plays and get really big wins with the Kraken. So, really exciting stuff from PSU Blue, but they got to continue this momentum and carry it through because they're still under the threat of game point set and match here in Red Emberz favor.
Yeah, they have to win 4 in a row. That was one of 4, which Red Emberz did not either. No team has won 4 in a row in this set. Red Emberz won 2 in a row, then they won 2 in a row again. So right now, neither team has won anything more than 2 in a row thus far, and we see that back and forth this game. Almost every single game has been close, right? I think it's fair to say, really, actually, I would say every single game is close. That one was probably the least close of all of them thus far. Like the only other knockout we have had
Barnacle
was
and Time, right? Wasn't it Barnacle and Time?
Yeah, B&D had a knockout. And that was within, maybe 30 seconds remaining in the game. And the TC game, the Hagglefish, was close to a knockout as well. Probably only didn't get it because of the time expiring in overtime. But, either way, that went over 5 minutes.
Exactly that. But Kraken, we're heading into game number 7 here of this best of 9 set. Stakes are high as we see a couple of switch-ups on the side of PSU Blue with only just one gal this time, and bringing back the Rapid Blaster from earlier from the previous TC Hacklefish game. So this will hopefully play into PSU Blue's favor as they did win on the previous TC game in this best of 9 match.
Nikki's got to go get that Sniper. I think you don't put Nikki on tower in this at all, which obviously it seems that Nikki's the second tower rider, Vapor being the first one. But with that Rapid, you have to play the ledges. I think they have to be off with the way the Sniper has been so good in this game, you have to find a way to eliminate him. Put a shooter on the tower before them. This has to be on the fly change that they need to be making, because they just realized the bigger issue is the Sniper, and the only weapon that can really counter it, the weapon that can counter it the best is the Blaster. And the Blaster is going to go down. 3 are going to go down, Mizuno, and this push is going to stop, but they did get checkpoint 1.
They did get checkpoint 1, and with all those efforts. So it's going to be really crucial here. We're going to have to keep an eye on PSU Blue and how they continue their positioning whenever they have the tower, right? Because you pointed out here, Nikki needs to be on Love Trial from Red Emberz, but they were on the complete opposite sides of the map, right? Love Trial was sitting on the right-hand side corner. So a little bit of repositioning here will probably have to happen here for PSU Blue if they want to push the tower any further in this match.
I don't think I've ever said the statement, I want to I want a shooter on the tower before something like a blaster for a rapid. But this is the circumstances they're dealing with in this game is they have to make those adjustments on the fly here. And they do extend their lead by a little bit, but I mean, if Red Emberz can't beat this lead, they deserve to lose the game, bluntly. And it looks like they're going to push towards that first checkpoint, Mizuno.
Right, exactly. And already here, we're seeing a little bit of pressure here. Love Trial and the Zuka just going at it. Once again, you always see that counterplay that's been happening in these several games. But it looks like without too much problems, Red Emberz is going to get through that first checkpoint. But Snow is going to come in and intervene and get the pick off of Cliff in a trade. So the tower is stopped for now, and 3 members down of PSU Blue. So it looks like Red Emberz is looking to sustain this push just a tad bit longer.
Good. I think that was a good Zuka. Zuka got at least 1 from Xylo, if not 2, and that was the key. That flipped that from a numbers disadvantage for Red Emberz to a numbers advantage. And right now, PSU is on the back foot trying to gain some sort of stability. Xylo gets 2, and I think they're going to probably go for the 3rd. I think Vapor jumped out there. Only reason they didn't get the 3rd. And that's Zuka coming in. Mizuno, 10 remaining on the clock.
Oh, this is going to be close as the tower's just going through. It's just the brush. It's just Corona Beer alive right now. And there's the wipeout. And we're back. This is like history repeating itself right now, Kraken, because I believe the last time the tower control Hagglefish Market match was on 5, the tick mark.
It was.
It was on 5.
I was waiting to play that too. I was sitting there like, oh, Mizuno solid too. Yeah, this is the exact same score that Red Emberz got last time on tower control. Can they not let PSU Blue score 96 points? That is it. Don't let them score 96 or more points. You have scored 95, which is one of the best scores you can ask for. But hey, that wipeout's gonna help. That wipeout's gonna help chill. You know, because you start thinking about that as a player. You go, this is the second time we've done this, and we failed last time. Then you get a little defensive. Sometimes you start getting defensive. You get a little rattled by that. But that wipeout helps. That helps calm the nerves a little bit. With 45 seconds remaining, that is helpful.
And man, Red Emberz is in a very clean spot here. I don't think they're too rattled by this after that wipe because they have 3 specials online to work with. 1 member does go down, and we do see Love Trial pop that vacuum here with 30 seconds left to go. Here comes, I believe that was Nikki or Snow. Couldn't quite tell there with all the ink. Trying to get a flank on that alleyway. Nikki getting a really nice pick on Cliff, but does go down to Zolo. So, lots of movement here. The last 15 seconds here. Jay is going to get a pick, but it's just Jay alive and Nikki coming back from spawn in these last 10 seconds.
Red Emberz was playing... Remember I talked about them getting in their mind? They were playing really passive. They got to touch tower, though. They're not going to do it. Oh, they do! They come out of nowhere! Vapor touches it! Just Vapor alive, though, and that will be the set! The defending champions are out, Mizuno.
And they're out indeed. Red Emberz has stolen the crown away from PSU Blue, and they have punched their ticket in to Division 1 Grand Finals in Season 5 of the CCA League. Well done. Congratulations to Red Emberz out of Illinois State University, once again proving their #1 seed spot here in the CCA League.
Well, I can say I'm the only defending champion from Penn State left. Just kidding. No, really good job by ISU though. They definitely grinded out some work on that to come get that W. Had to come in and get a laugh about it, right? As a former Penn State player, I was here last season. I would have been one of the ones playing on the other side. I had to throw some love over to my Penn State folks and a little troll, but congratulations to ISU getting over the hump this time and winning 5-2.
It's incredible. This was a great demonstration of the rivalry that both of these teams have. And man, what a performance that both of these teams have had, not only in this game, but throughout the season. And I think this was just another great demonstration of another wonderful rivalry that we have between these two legacy schools in the CCA League. And I mean, credit where credit is due to both of these teams for continuing to represent the CCA League and have these wonderful games on stream for us. As Neptune, our wonderful producer, has pulled up the stats here for us. Again, I think that's telling the same story we've been seeing all throughout the match tonight, with just a really strong game from Love Trial, just staying alive and being supported by the rest of their teammates.
Yeah, a really good job there by Corona. That was Corona's best statistical game, and at the perfect time to do so, mind you, for the night. And great job there. It looks like we had multiple members of ISU having a 2-to-1K ratio, and that I think was the best for ISU all night too, ratio-wise. Fantastic job there. To really not just win the game, just absolutely say, nah, we're not fooling around. We're not letting you come back any further. We let you have the one game. We're winning with this 95 push this time.
Exactly. They wanted to make that very clear to PSU Blue. It's like, we're not letting you have this happen again. History is not repeating itself.
All right, Mizuno. Producer is telling us, hey, we got to wrap up. We got to have another match coming up. That's why we don't have a play all 9, just for everyone here at home. We're not going to see all the games just because we have another match up ahead.
We do. We have a Division 3 semifinals match between Egg Spaghetti out of UC Berkeley, who was just featured last night in the most recent episode of the podcast, taking on a fan favorite, the Goomies, out of Virginia Commonwealth University. So, with that, I think that's going to be our time, Kraken. Kraken, give us a plug. Where could the folks at home find you?
You can find me everywhere. YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, KrakenMayor77. And in any Penn State chat, roasting them right now. I'm just kidding. with love. With
the utmost piece of love. Folks, you can find me over on Twitter at Twitch, MIZU_0. But I think the bigger priority is to follow all CCA channels at CCA_Splatoon on Twitter and CCA_Splatoon here on Twitch. Folks, we're going to take a quick break to get ready for this next upcoming match. And we'll be right back here shortly with one more match in our triple header afternoon showdown series tonight. Stay tuned.